Good evening out there in the radio world or podcast world or wherever you're listening. We would like to welcome you to Bingo is Live!
Wow.
The podcast.
Wow.
Tonight we have a skeleton crew,
A skeleton.
but it's
That's
full
right.
of heart. We have the fabulous Howdy Shell brothers, Dan is not here.
Dan is not here.
Howdy Shell brothers, Chris and Mike.
Hey.
Who just came out of bingo, and I can't wait to hear about it. You got me, Mum Shackles, and no Dan.
No Dan.
No Jay.
No Jay.
Dan is working at Kmart. He had to stock
That's right.
shelves really early this morning, and so he needed an early night. And Jay is doing a civic duty at some sort of town council meeting.
Yes.
Oh,
Good.
Doing a civic duty of
Getting that business done.
protesting whatever's
Oh.
happening, or just giving his input about
Good.
town planning, which is
Good.
always important.
Yes,
It is.
That's part of existing.
It's part
That's
of
right.
it. You got to play your part in your community.
Beautiful.
So we have a fantastic guest lined up. Hey guys, how was bingo?
Oh, bingo. You know what? You can tell that, I guess, public schools Tuesday, today, was the last day, and there is no school tomorrow. You can feel it in the air because I think the parents brought their kids here, and I think everyone is just really happy.
Yes, the chaos. The chaos is rife.
Yeah, no, we had a really fun. It was a fun
It
crowd.
was good. It was a fun
People
crowd.
They were in a silly, kind of funny mood, and one of my favorite things about the evening tonight was when there was a moment in which we called a number and no one had it, but everyone wanted it.
Yeah.
And there was a big.
Oh, yeah, there was like a wave.
A wave of it kind of went across the entire
It's weird
room.
what you experience here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the pizza's good too.
the pizza's
But
fantastic.
it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, you get any group of people together,
Yeah.
and if they're having a shared experience,
Yeah.
watching them react to that shared experience together
Yeah,
is always
right.
interesting. We don't have that as much anymore with the streaming and the staying at home and stuff.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I try with my cats, but it's just not as exciting. They don't feel the same as I do. Ever. 'Cause they're cats.
They don't have a gasp and all like wave at any point.
Oh.
You walk in,
I mean, at dinner time.
oh, there you go.
Now, when I come home, my dog
Yes.
absolutely looks at me with the, oh.
I never thought you would return.
Oh.
You've come back to me,
And it's.
I love
yeah,
you.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
and it's every day.
Every day.
Same thing.
Nelly,
I never
love
thought you would come back to me.
Aw.
I love you.
Aw.
Yeah.
So I watched. Sorry, we're gonna get to our guest in
Oh,
one
yes,
second.
it will
Since we
happen.
don't have our unexpected notion,
Right, we
I have
got
a
time.
unexpected movie.
Well, there was a
that I
blue
saw.
light special on Unexpected Notions, and that's why. Dan, you get it.
I do get
Kmart.
it, Kmart. Okay, so my daughter,
Yep.
Melody, she says, "Oh, we're going to watch a movie." I said, "Great, let's watch a movie." And she picked How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey one.
Okay,
Love that
yes.
version.
Gotcha.
Okay, you love that version.
I mean, yeah, I think Jim Carrey does a bang-up job in
Okay.
the acting. He really hated being in that costume, so I give him extra credit for being miserable and making me laugh.
Yeah. All right. So, if you've never seen it,
Spoiler alert.
There's a bit of a
He stole it, didn't he?
beginning story of how the Grinch came to be, and part of that story is so babies in Whoville just fall from the sky, and so,
Like they do, yeah.
and
Yeah.
this baby landed in a tree.
Yep.
Okay, and this is real because I just saw it the other night. The Whoville culture is a little bit sus because so there was a party happening the
Yeah.
night that the Grinch landed in the tree, and the reason he wasn't picked up by anyone to take care of him is because they were having a party, and the only way they describe the party is a bunch of Who's all putting their keys in
Oh,
in a bucket.
It was a key
And
party.
It was a key party.
Wow.
And I'm not going to explain to you all
Who
what
the-
a key
who the
party
what
might
the?
be. Yeah, but that's what the Who's were all up to.
Huh.
And no one found him all night long.
Oh, I see.
That was part of his like
That's how he became the Grinch.
the Grinch. That's part of how he became the Grinch,
Wow.
according to the writer of that movie.
Those swinging Who's.
Swinging Who's.
I know, right?
Hmm.
Who would have guessed? Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get right to our guest.
I think that's a great
Thank
idea.
you.
She looks like she might have opinions.
I know. And
Perfect.
About
Yes.
Who Swingers.
That's what we need. We need. Okay, so I was first introduced to Brooke Imber. She was teaching my kids. I didn't even know it. I had no concept. I was first really introduced to her when she took a bunch of pictures of us while we were playing music.
Oh.
And she was like, "Hey, I got some cool photos."
Dr. Howe?
Dr. Howe. And then she was at a couple different things that we had done.
Yeah.
And then she invited us to play music for her, one of her art openings. Cool. And from that point on, I got one of her artworks. I've got an awesome picture of a fox. It lives in my living room. And so she's an amazing artist and she's an amazing teacher. Everybody, this is Brooke Imber.
Hey! Welcome aboard.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you, friends. This is super cool.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thanks for being an awesome community member and doing things.
Absolutely. And just because we know that you are a teacher, thank you for your service.
Anytime.
Yes, no, that's fantastic. So I did speak with Melody today. I said, what? Tell me about Brooke Imber. Tell me about Miss Imber. And I already told Brooke this, but we had to remind her who Miss Imber was.
Right.
It's gonna. Yeah. No, she remembers.
No,
you.
okay. Or here's what I've got a weird question about this. Okay, when you think back to your teachers, you remember your teachers, right? I can actually name off all my elementary school teachers, not a problem. But when I get into middle school, I can't. Then you break into 5 or 6 different middle school, and then
because you have like 9 teachers or 7 or whatever.
And then with high school, I can remember a few of the important ones. But I think middle school gets the worst.
Yeah, I've blocked some memories there.
Yeah, well, and it's probably names of the teachers too.
Yeah. I met one at the polls the other week when we went and voted.
Oh.
And she was like, "You look familiar," and I was like,
"Your old teacher?"
Yeah, I was like, "You probably know my mom because everybody in Phelps Run knows my mom." And I was like, I was telling her all about my mom and who she was, and she was like, "No, I don't know her." And I was like, "Well, you couldn't possibly know me." It turns out she did. I was one of her students.
What grade?
Middle school. It was.
Yeah.
She was a 7th grade and 8th grade teacher. So science.
So how long have you been teaching?
I think it's my 6th year.
6th year?
I keep recounting. It's either 6 or 7. I think it's 6.
Gotcha.
Started in 2018. 6. Yes.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So I have no idea about how you landed in Harrisonburg. Can you tell us a little bit how you got where you are today?
Of course.
Bring it. Bring it.
So I went to JMU. And
we've heard of that place.
It is here. And my mom helped me find this school because I was like, I don't know. I grew up in Jersey and I wanted to get out of Jersey.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, you like nature. South Jersey.
Okay.
Right
South
near
Jersey.
Atlantic City.
All right. Nice.
Yep. So my mom said, well, hey, you like nature. This place has mountains and I'm not used to mountains. So we came here and I was also like, the school colors are purple and purple's my favorite color. And like, I'd be down for some purple swag and live in this cute valley.
That's
so
true.
I went to JMU. I was a studio art and psychology double major. And then I picked up the art ed certification like halfway through and I graduated in December, so that was like a weird time to get a job. So then I said bye to everyone. I was like, you're all amazing, but I want to go travel for a bit. So I was a ski instructor in Idaho for the winter season and then started doing
It's a good skiing in Idaho.
There is, the Sawtooth Mountains. So it's crazy because it'll just be totally flat.
Yeah.
For hours, then it's like, whoa, these crazy jagged mountains and hot springs everywhere.
Oh, well, that's cool.
It's amazing.
Right.
So I was there for a bit. Then I made it back to Harrisonburg. I had started dating someone before I left who I now own a house with. So it worked out. Me and Ethan are still together.
Yeah, nice.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So it drew you back. You decided you left for a while, but you had to come back.
I miss the community, honestly.
yeah.
Like all the live music, all the creativity, and like meeting new people every day, but also running into people that you know every day, and just it felt really cozy. So
that's very cool.
Town.
Did you go through their MAT program or
no?
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So that's what I did. I did the whole master's in the arts of teaching.
I didn't have to get a master's.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it was like the only way to do it when I was way back.
For art education, it's like I'm certified in kindergarten through 12th grade.
All
and
of them.
It was,
Yeah, nice.
It was kind of like adding a minor
Okay,
plus student
yeah.
teaching.
Yeah.
So we did practicum experience.
Where did you do your student teaching at?
I was in Broadway at J. Frank Hilliard for middle school, and then I was at Westwood in Waynesboro
Right.
for elementary.
Yeah.
And then Chris and I work in Augusta, and you did some work in Augusta
Yep.
as well, right? Mm-hmm.
Craigsville for 3 days, and then North River for the next 3 days.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere.
Just
both
keep
of them.
driving on
Cool.
42.
Yeah, just
Till you
keep
think
going.
you're lost, and then suddenly there's a school there.
Whoa. I got a lot of inspiration for lessons though in the
Oh, yeah.
morning. It was like, waking up. I know exactly if I pass this spot at this time, I'm going to see like 300 birds,
Right, right.
start
Wow.
flying. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
There is a spot when you're on 42 heading out to Craigsville in which you kind of come because you're going through a mountain pass and there's a little creek next to you, and then there's an open field and a farm there, and when you see
You're
it,
describing every road in
Yeah, I'm
Augusta
wondering
County.
like
Sorry,
which
sorry.
part is this past
Let's see.
Buffalo Gap? Like
No.
once you're on that straight
Yeah,
Before you-
way
past
to get
Buffalo Gap,
before you
past-
get to Craigsville.
It's between Buffalo Gap and Craigsville.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So
Okay.
you get to this open spot in which the road is straight and flat,
I do know where it opens up into a field.
and
I know
you
that
and you
part.
got a field on both sides.
Okay.
And it's magical.
Yeah.
And it's also the place where people really pass you.
Yeah, well, I was going to say
yeah.
I think that's where I got a speeding ticket.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going to say, I think I also have been pulled over in that
Yeah,
spot.
right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is the
That's the place, yeah.
Yeah, those straight spots on 42, they're good times. It's the little things here in the country that you really gotta grasp onto.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got a job. You were working out. So when you first moved back to Harrisonburg, then got a job out in Augusta County.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was my first teaching
Yeah.
job. So I didn't think I was going to get a job. I hadn't heard back from like the 4 places I interviewed, or like got denied by 2, and then
Right.
whatever. I didn't hear back from one of them. So I was like, sweet, whatever. I'm down to go be a camp counselor at this cool teen camp. I got a call from the principal that had interviewed me like 3 or 4 months ago that I hadn't heard back from, and they're like, "Hey, you were runner up, and the person we hired isn't gonna teach now. So you want to interview with the other teacher?" I'm like, "No, I've decided I'm gonna be a camp counselor." Like, no, seriously, like you're gonna interview. I was like, "Fine."
Oh, they talked
So
you into
they
it.
talked
you
me
in?
into
Oh, that's
interviewing,
awesome.
and I was
Good for
like,
them.
I wrote a pros and cons list
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like seeing if I could get a
Good.
job at Brothers and be a camp
Yeah.
counselor and do that for a bit. But I ended up leaving the camp early because I was hired like 5 days before the school year started. And I was like, all right, we're doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now, obviously you've kept going.
Yeah, I
and
really
then-
like it, especially teaching art. That is
Yeah.
the one thing that I really enjoy, and
Is
I give
there-
a lot of elementary core teachers so much respect.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
so much on their
Oh.
plates, and I'm
Absolutely.
thankful for the creative.
Yeah, but you know what they love? They love art and they love music too, though, because it's like they get to take the kids and be like, "And now you got them, go!"
Yeah.
Like they do that. They're excited because you're their break.
Yeah.
Or planning period,
Yeah,
or
planning
meeting
period.
time,
Yes,
or
right.
whatever.
They don't have
They
breaks.
don't have
Yeah, there's no
They
breaks
really
in
don't.
elementary school.
No.
Unfortunately. I wish it was the case.
It's fun how people think that, though.
Yeah, no, that's how I imagine. That's my imagination.
No,
Yeah.
I used to be an ITRT, and when I first started working at an elementary school as an ITRT, I would try to make meetings with the teachers, and our meetings were usually as they were walking from one class or one section to the next. That was the only time they had to talk to me. Like, I can talk to you right now for 10 minutes as we walk to the next thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, yep, that's their schedule is so busy. It's crazy.
Okay, new love. My
New love.
my wife is actually
Yeah.
she's a preschool kindergarten teacher for a Montessori, and she is
I didn't know that.
so busy.
Busy.
She's so busy. And she's getting a well-needed break this week too, which is
That's right.
awesome.
Yeah,
So
preschool's a different species.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Each one of the levels is its own world. I
It
mean,
really
like
is, yeah.
I've talked to people who when I first started teaching, it was middle school, and the thing I got was, how can you teach in middle school? That's the worst place to be, and it just depends because every place you go, everyone has a different take on it as far as like what it's like.
Yeah.
Now I always felt like elementary school was the busiest, but it was really rewarding. But man, it's crazy busy. I couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
What's your like best medium? And when it comes to art?
So I used to think that it was pottery, but then I kind of get a little bit lazy because pottery is such a like time sensitive thing and I'm not good with that. So I'll be like, yeah, I'm making this goblet. I need to make a stem for this cool glass. And then it like completely dries out because I forget about it for months. So yeah, I thought I would get really into pottery, but not at the moment. But yeah, I've really gotten excited about photography recently.
Cool. Yeah.
Photography, and then I also do some wire wrapped necklaces with like
that's cool.
natural gems and stuff, which is fun because you can bring it anywhere, like in a canoe, camping, whatever.
I like you in a canoe.
Yeah, you can bring it,
That sounds like
in
a
a
good
canoe.
That's a good
in a
marketing.
canoe, on a float. Lots of great spots. In a hammock.
It's a good marketing angle. Like
Exactly.
this necklace was made in a canoe.
Seriously, and it's all in
True.
my fanny pack. Like you just bring all the materials
I
in
love
your
it.
fanny pack, grab it and go.
Okay,
pack
so
it.
right now,
We are not in a canoe.
until Friday, you can see Brooke's artwork.
That's right.
Her photography is hanging at the Friendly Fermenter until Friday, right?
Correct.
And
Yeah.
then, and then you're selling it.
And then on Saturday, there's lots of holiday art markets all over the place. And my art market that I'm a part of is the one at Liberty Street at the Loft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'll be there with photography and some wire wraps necklaces.
Yeah,
Cool.
Small
Sweet.
Business Saturday. Is
Yes.
this Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday. You got Thanksgiving,
There's-
Black Friday, and then Small Business Saturday.
Oh, that's right.
And I
Small
know
business.
Sagebird has a market. I know the Frame Factory has a market. The Loft has a market.
I think,
There's so many.
Yeah.
and then there's like December 7th is also a big
That's
weekend
the
for
Pale Fire.
That's the Pale Fire
And that's
one.
Winter Wonderfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's a bunch of people selling stuff too, though, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you've got two great opportunities
Yeah.
to make the gift of local
Local
Yes.
art.
made art.
And it's ridiculous how many incredible artists are in this town. I'm like, I thought
No
I
doubt,
knew
right?
them all. And then I
Right.
go to different markets
Yeah.
and see them in like different First Friday galleries. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It really
it's
is
so cool.
amazing. It
not,
is.
Yeah, it's not like bands where they like kind of do things and they're loud and you hear them.
Yeah.
Like artists just go hide in their little holes and then they come out with
Exactly.
stuff. Tons of stuff.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Pop right out of the canoe and
Yeah.
hey,
Hey, I've been in a canoe for 3 days with a fanny pack and I have stuff to
But my
sell.
boyfriend paddled me around and we're great.
Oh my god.
Got a picture of a bird too.
Boom. So photography wise, you bought how did you get into photography? Was that like did you fall into it, or was
So my mom got me a camera as a graduation gift. And
like film, 35 millimeter camera
No,
or
no,
digital?
no. It was a digital
Okay.
Canon,
Yep.
like beginner pack camera.
Gotcha.
And it took me about like 8 years to figure out how all the manual settings work. So I just
Right.
didn't. And then I met Bob Adamick,
Oh boy.
Oh yes.
amazing
Yes.
legend who you should
Yeah.
absolutely have on
Yes.
here sometime.
Oh yeah.
He's a fun guy. to talk
So
to.
I met him when I started working in Harrisonburg City Public Schools.
Mm.
He's
He's
a
on the
district
list.
photographer.
He's on the list.
I'm like, Bob, I don't know anything about how photography works. I've been on auto. I want to like
Yeah.
get more into, I've been doing like some concert photography, some wildlife stuff. And he's like, okay. So we went to Capitol Ale House, got some dinner together, and he started teaching me everything he knows, explaining everything, and has been
Amazing.
inviting me up to the park. And he's great. We're really good buddies now, and he has,
that's cool.
really taken me under his wing and taught me so much stuff.
Do you
that-
have, when it comes to photography, do you have a favorite subject matter, or like, is there any particular?
Yeah, so I go back and forth between baby wild animals, 'cause, cute,
Yeah.
Baby, wild, and very
or
cute.
just baby animals.
Baby
Baby goats,
animals.
they're so cute.
Yeah.
So okay, all right.
Yeah. frogs, they're cute too.
Gotcha. Yeah, sure.
Any wildlife that is pretty and cute and nice, then I'm like, cool.
Sorry, ugly wildlife.
Do you find the frogs?
Everything's pretty, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's all beautiful.
Where do the frogs hang out though? Like, do you find
So
them
we were
when you're
canoeing
on
in a
your canoe?
swamp.
Yeah.
And Ethan noticed a frog.
Oh, okay.
And I had my zoom lens, and I
Good.
got a really
Nice.
cool one.
Yeah, because there's a lot of ugly wildlife in a swamp, too.
There are a
I
lot
Yeah,
don't
Ugly
know. I
frogs.
can't think
Yeah.
of any wildlife that's ugly.
yeah, catfish
to me.
are ugly.
Yeah. So I like that. I also really like
Bugs.
moss
Oh, moss are good.
photos, some lichen. I'm obsessed with ferns, so I always
okay.
freak out with ferns. Anything. I also really like landscapes and stuff, just
Cool.
because I like remembering places that I've been. But yeah,
So the picture that that you gave
you
me
have Earl.
is a fox.
Yes.
Right? Now, what's the story behind
So
that?
Earl is also someone who you should have on the podcast. Earl,
The fox?
Oh, I
yes,
thought-
the fox. The fox. Invite him.
Let's
He's
invite-
great. He's everyone
The
knows
fox
him.
talk?
He doesn't. Meh. Okay, maybe not.
But he's sly.
He's super cool. He's super cool. I don't condone feeding wildlife.
Okay.
But my uncle, who has a house in Breckenridge, Colorado, was giving him bologna. So he's a little bit extra friendly and comes
Okay.
and visits
Right.
every morning.
So that's how
and-
you got such a good picture. I was like,
Yeah.
foxes are kind of like,
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Earl. He
And-
visits a lot.
Who
Earl's
came up with the name Earl?
My uncles.
Your uncle.
I mean, it's a good name for a
Yeah.
bologna eating fox.
yeah, Blooding Fox. Earl.
It's gonna change the way I think of that picture now.
I'm
though.
sorry. I'm sorry. But he's
no, it's
really, really nice.
The
No.
caption on it is, "Hey man, you got some bologna?
Where's the balloon?
Hey,
Give me bologna.
you got any of that bologna?"
Maybe we'll put that. We'll put the picture in the notes. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah. My best friend has painted like huge murals using that as a photo
Really?
reference. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Huge murals.
Is
It's
there
pretty
bologna in the mural?
cool. There's no bologna in the
Oh,
mural.
come
I'm like,
on.
Katie, you got to be more realistic.
Get some,
Like,
get some SK in there, man. Come on.
yeah.
That's gay.
Isn't that a bologna brand?
But we can definitely
don't know.
link a picture of the mural in there too.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Like I saw a fox in Harrisonburg, and we were driving on that road that like
Was it eating bologna at the
No,
time?
no. But I saw it. And we actually stopped the car because
Okay,
I was like,
yeah, sure.
"There's a fox over there."
Yeah, you got to stop.
And we stopped, and my son was in the back seat, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I don't think I'd ever seen a fox, and it was like in the middle of the daytime, and I thought that fox might be sick.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, if it's in the middle of the daytime,
yeah,
you're like,
he's supposed
Is
to
this
be
right?
hiding, like it's
Yeah,
not supposed to be
right.
like a dog running
Yeah.
around.
I mean,
But it was-
It may also depend on what season it is. At our house earlier this year, like in the spring and early summer, we had some foxes being very active in our yard. And I mean, that was like, I don't
Yeah.
know, breeding or whatever.
Huh. In line for cold cuts,
They
maybe?
were partying though. Like these foxes were
Having a good
partying
time.
in our yard. We live
Oscar Mayer.
we live on a farm next to a turkey house, and
Okay.
so they would find delicious treats at the turkey house, bones, turkeys, scraps.
oh,
and,
yeah.
and drag them across our yard. So it looked
Ooh.
like it looked like a boneyard. Like
Yum.
Earl's high class with his bologna.
Yeah.
The foxes out my way.
They had
are
to
like,
work for it.
they're like, I wouldn't want to be caught outside with them because they might eat me.
You're not
Like,
safe.
No, but they
Kids
were
are
like-
not safe. Nobody's safe.
They were like, 3 or
She's
4
all
of
like, we
them.
should have a roll in this thing.
I agree.
no one's safe. Well, when I saw that fox, though, I thought, but eventually it hopped away.
Yeah,
or
sure.
whatever,
Okay, good.
And we drove on, and I thought, how did you get such a good
Yeah,
picture? Now
right.
I know.
Yeah.
Baloney.
Yeah. I'm
Little
not that
baloney.
good of a photographer.
No, that's okay. But Bob, Adam,
But Bob
he
gets some
crazy.
ridiculous
Yeah.
shots of animals.
But
yeah.
That's not. You know what?
He's
though?
using cloth bologna.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the good stuff right
Yeah.
there.
That is the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Keeps
yeah.
it in his back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
He's. I'll get a bear. Hold on.
Oh, bologna pocket Bob.
Hold on. Nina.
No, but
now?
it's great. If you're ever up at the park with Bob, you can't go more than like a minute without him explaining this awesome animal he saw at this very spot.
Right.
It's so fun.
That's cool.
You're like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
All right, Bob, we need to talk to you.
Yes.
I agree. I like talking to Bob.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Consider it done.
All right. Consider it done.
So, Brooke, tell us about the spaces that you've helped
Some projects, right?
create in Harrisonburg. I'm going
Yeah.
to say create. Did you? I mean, you won a grant.
So
No, wait. I don't think we've ever said it though. We didn't mention like where you work now, right?
Oh no,
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
if
we
we
got
got
there.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten there.
Yeah.
I work at Keister Elementary.
There it is. Yay.
I got hired right when the pandemic started. So,
Yay.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
I
Yep.
got to be online for a year and have all the new parents watch my videos and all the new teachers.
What a wild way to start.
Anxiety inducing. I'm
Yeah.
like, please like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
wow.
but yeah, I've been at Keister for 4 years.
Congrats.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
I really like it. And I had always been excited about teaching outside. We didn't quite have as many spaces at my other schools. I mean, I take kids to the playground and do different art there. But when I first got back to Keister, we were virtual for most of the year, and then we came back and we had like 2 months in the spring, I think, or a month and a half. And we had these portable like seat chair things that were kind of like S-shaped. So when you sat down, the tabletop would pop up.
Oh yeah. Right.
They were purple. It was great.
Hey,
we would
there's
bring them
purple.
out to the garden. I would sit under the weeping cherry and we would do observational drawings and whatever. And then the next year rolls by. I'm still using those chairs, bringing them out on a cart, dropping them off the cart with a whole class set. Deciding kids are going to carry these now.
You guys are big enough.
I'm working too hard right now. And anyway, so the school counselor, Joel Rittenhouse, he wanted to lead a club with me, an after-school club. And he said we should do something about the overgrown nature trail, which I hadn't heard of. I'm like, wait, are you kidding me? We have a nature trail at this school, and I've been lugging chairs out
right.
to, I mean, our beautiful garden.
Yeah, sure.
And our beautiful sidewalk with trees next to it. But we could have been in the nature trail too. So anyways, I connected with a lot of really great people, like Kathy Yoder with Vine and Fig.
Yep.
And she introduced me to a bunch of JMU groups like JMU APO and JMU Give. We had a bunch of volunteer days and reestablished the overgrown parts of the trail, and then actually like doubled it in size by like finding all of the dead cedars in this big patch, ripping them out, creating the like trail marks,
More space.
like borders. So we had like a whole area and a different exit out of the trail. And we started with something called Stump School, which was the most open part with about like 15 large stumps in a circle. And so that was really exciting. We had an after-school club, and I was like, sign up for this club if you want to mulch. We're mulching.
Yeah.
We're doing trail work.
Yeah.
And you can decorate signs and make wind chimes.
Did you have a lot of people sign up?
I think we had like 40 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
great. There were 3 people that helped lead the club. It was me, Joel, and my friend Sarah. And I also had a student teacher at the time. So it was like 4 of us. So we could
Yeah.
split into groups.
Very cool.
So after that, I had met one of our parents, Audrey Barnes, who is an industrial design professor at JMU. My friend Maggie, the music teacher, introduced me to her. And she was like, oh, you like forts and stuff in the nature trail? We can all, I could have my industrial design students build stick forts for you guys or something. Like,
Yeah.
let's
Nice.
co-write a
Get some
grant,
forts.
figure out how
Yes.
we can, co-design some spaces.
I was going to ask, you got some grant money involved too, right?
So
at some
this
point?
was the first grant that we got was
Okay.
through HEF, Harrisonburg Education Foundation.
Yep.
We got $5,000 to do a co-design with her sophomore industrial design students and my 4th grade students.
Oh, that's
So we
awesome.
went to Explore More Museum on a half-day field trip, broke into groups based on like what could an art space look like? What could an adventure park look like? What could like a natural outdoor learning space in the woods look like? What do you guys want? What should the maps and signage be like? Because teachers are scared to go out because you get lost. And also
Yep.
we wanted a Hobbit door. And at the time my boyfriend had volunteered to build the Hobbit door. And she's like, no, I'll have my students do it. And so I was glad that they did it. And Ethan was also glad that he did it because he got signed up for a lot of other stuff
Oh, okay,
with
good.
that project. Don't worry, he still
Okay.
got
So
to help.
Is the Hobbit door just into the side of the
It's shaped like a Hobbit door. So it's
Okay.
we cut a hole in the silver crisscross fence.
Okay.
We cut that apart because the issue with the trail was you would get out there and it was like a 5 to 8 minute walk, depending on the age of the student.
Yeah.
You know, we would get there and then one of the first graders would be like, I have to go to the bathroom. So you would have to bring the entire class out. And it was like, okay. So the Hobbit door really helped because that was through our school garden, which was centrally located where recess is.
Yeah.
So there's always other teachers out there. And I could just
okay.
be like, hey, teachers,
Yeah.
these kids have the
Yeah.
buddy system. They're going to the bathroom. When they come back,
Yeah.
they're not running away. Like,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for them.
The amount of coordination that elementary school teachers have to do is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, you think like just like teaching class, that's only one small part. Rounding up all those kids to getting them good to go in the right places at the right time in the right directions.
Yeah, and then you
Amazing.
have the factor of kids are chaos.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
they have liquid coming out of them at all times.
Well, that's true, too.
Multiple spots.
Yeah, they're always leaking.
So are you teaching K through 5? Is that
K through 5.
K through
Yeah.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
What's some of the more like? Have you kind of like taken note of what the kids are saying about that space now that you've been out there? Like what's the vibe? What do kids say when they're in that space? Are they like?
They love it. Like
love
they'll
it.
show up and it'll be like 23 degrees and February and like hailing. And they're like, can we go to the nature trail? And I'm like, you know, like if we all had proper snowsuits,
Yeah.
we could go to the nature trail.
I'll take you out there in just 5 months.
Yeah. But like any day it is really nice. Like today, spontaneously, like my lesson was supposed to be about collage and painting and drawing and mixed media art. But it was beautiful. So we went out to the fairy forest and the students that were really excited about making a mixed media collage just brought all their materials out and sat at a table. So another really cool thing with that collaboration with Audrey Barnes, Industrial Design, is she introduced me to Jeremy Harold, who's the green space manager of Public Works. And Public Works has an incredible urban wood program. So they were able to donate so much live edge wood.
Okay, so urban wood.
Yeah. So like when they have to cut trees down in the city, instead of like grinding it up and turning it into wood chips, they'll slab it up to different sizes. So like I was able to get these beautiful like 2-inch thick live edge wood pieces that like were used to build the Hobbit door or used to build like a resin coated table. And
That's cool.
so that Jeremy is how he's the one who came to me with the other grant opportunity through the Department of Forestry. He asked if I wanted to collaborate and write.
They're going to be paying you just to like keep these spaces going, aren't they?
I hope so.
So too.
That does kind of lead into the next question. Then what's next? What are you hoping to do in the next year, 2, 20, whatever?
So right now we're still finishing up our second grant.
Yeah.
So the first one, and actually our third, because I got 2 at the same time last year.
Okay.
Another one from HEF and the $30,000 one from the Department of Forestry.
Okay.
So that grant is specifically for creating like 3 learning spaces in close proximity to the school. Since the nature trail is not accessible to everyone and it's farther away. So we created a spot called the Mindfulness Meadow last year. That was in the spring. So we have a labyrinth made out of stones with mosaic stepping stone, like little walking stepping stones that the kids created in my class. We have a hammock haven. It's a spot where you can put up 24 hammocks.
Wow.
And it's by far the kids' favorite spot.
Oh, yeah.
You get to hang out in a hammock and learn. This is great. It's so relaxing.
Yeah. Right.
So we have that. And then we have Eagle Scout Circle, which was an Eagle Scout project last year. It's like a circular bench seating space.
Yeah.
And then we currently have my friend Adam Ritter. He's creating 3 picnic tables using the donated wood. So he just started working on that last week. And that'll be like the final part of the Mindfulness Meadow for now. We do have an amazing fairy home. Have you guys seen the fairy home in the Arboretum Kids Center?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I met the artist, Jay, who built that, and I might get to contract him to build one for the Mindfulness
Oh,
Meadows.
cool.
So I just met
Amazing.
with him 2 days ago. So there's still a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, the Arboretum.
Yeah,
They,
it's
They've
amazing.
done an awesome
yeah, they
job.
like took it to 11.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
said,
they
let's,
really did.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like a tree fell down, and they're like, we can use this.
We can do that.
And
Yeah.
they really
Yeah.
just used so many cool things with this one tree that fell down.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
Arboretum, go check it out.
I
But
love
this
that
space
spot.
also.
Is
Anyone can go to this
That was my
space.
question. Yeah.
Yes.
It was,
So, yeah, all of the spaces you can go to after 4 p.m.
Okay.
or before school hours,
Okay.
8:30. On the weekends, like the main thing is we're trying to teach, middle school students that like to come visit on the weekends and after school hours to respect the spaces.
Yes,
Yeah.
respect the space. Right.
But like Hammock Haven, the hammocks are locked up, so it's bring your own hammock, but all the hardware's there. And, like
Okay.
I want all my friends to go hang out in hammocks,
BYOH.
like, drink.
Yeah, bring your own hammock.
Yeah, and some tea. It'd be great.
And some
That's
tea.
good. And some
Yeah.
tea.
So we're finishing that, and then we're
Awesome.
finishing Sellers Sanctuary, which is our kindergarten and first grade space that we just started last month. Right now, my friend Cornelius just started building a willow fence. It's a living willow fence. So that's the only space that's fully going to be fenced in, specifically for the younger kids,
Right.
runners.
Yeah, no, it's real. You,
So
have, to,
it's
you
real.
have to do that.
It's a lot of
Yeah,
things.
absolutely.
But yeah, we're working on finishing that, and then we're working on planting some like edible species.
Wow.
I recently connected with the Harrisonburg new nutrition director, and she's really excited about like bringing farm to school to
Okay.
Harrisonburg
Right.
and really
Right.
amping that up. There's a really cool program
Yeah.
in Waynesboro. I don't know if you guys have heard that. I think it's the Waynesboro Education Farm, and they have like been able to supply food for the cafeteria, all grown
Yes,
from this
right,
farm,
right.
and it's super cool. So,
Okay.
anyways, that's what we're doing at Keister, and then once we finish that, the district has hired me on a stipend to help kind of talk with other teachers in the district, other admin, and see how we can bring spaces similar to Keister everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're on that.
Hold on.
No,
And this
absolutely.
is, I just want to let you know, this is why I was so pumped that you're going to be here.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And it's not just for you. You're not just creating things. I mean, so many people are going to get to
Right.
use these
you
things.
brought so many people together too.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that was-
yeah.
That's a heck of an undertaking.
It really
And-
is.
and this
It's been
is-
my favorite part is the community collaboration piece. Like
Right.
I've
Yeah.
met so many people. I've had so many like I can't even mention all of the collaborations in this podcast because there's so
Right.
many. Like we partnered with a SMAD class last year with Elizabeth Cavernan's class, and we like co-designed these series of signs about kindness and mindfulness for the Mindfulness Meadow, and it was just like so wholesome
yeah.
and yeah.
That's so
It's been
cool.
awesome.
when you took, I mean, at some point, did you ever think you were going to be doing what you're doing right now? Or was this always the plan? Or is this,
I did not think I would be creating things at a school. I mean, I'm definitely someone that really likes to like decorate and like do some kind of like, make my classroom cozy. But past that, I hadn't really done that. I mean, I started by making stepping stones for the school garden. Was like, that's fun. I like the idea of having a club where we can like be creative, but also like amplify the beauty of our school
Right.
environment and get kids to add their own personal touch to it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what's like been really driving all of that. But yeah, it's been like a ripple effect of like, I talk to one person and then we do something and then I talk to another person and then more people want to collaborate and it's just been so fun.
And the administration has been supportive of everything that you have been
Yeah.
putting forth. I just want to throw out there like people who are like, oh, don't want to be a public school teacher. That's crazy.
Well,
there's
It's
opportunity
especially
there.
because of COVID. Just education as a whole and being a teacher, it's really tough.
It really
it's
is.
really, really tough. And we have more people leaving teaching now at a faster rate than we've ever had before.
There's
and
al-
that's a real thing. But it's stories like yours that I think are just, absolutely amazing. I hope it inspires other people because
Absolutely.
there's some wonderful things that can happen, and I love to see it. I love to
Thank
hear
you.
about it.
Yeah. Also, before we go, because I know we're running out of time here,
Yeah,
but I just
yeah.
wanted to throw out there, though, something that I've really, you took great pictures of a lot of different concerts that we have done.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I've loved them. And I'm so thankful that you gave them. But I also love your energy at concerts. You get people to dance, that sort of stuff. That's great. So not only are you super positive as a human in our little world, you're also
Glad you came back to Harrisonburg.
Well,
Yeah,
hey,
thanks for
it's
being
people
here.
like you guys that get me to dance and just feel so happy.
Yeah, well,
And
it's-
I love it.
Then the feeling is mutual
Yes.
and awesome. I think that's all for us to hear, right? Is
I
that
think
true?
it is.
Yeah.
We've reached that time.
Yeah,
Am I supposed to send us out?
I think
Hey,
so.
that's a great idea.
No. Okay. Thank you for listening to Bingo is Life, the podcast broadcasting out of Ruby's Arcade in
Yeah.
the
Oh, yes.
historic Wine Brothers building in
That's our
downtown
sponsor.
It's our
Harrisonburg.
sponsor, Ruby's. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby's, for your sponsorship, for your pizza, for your...
And Ruby should be proud of yet another quality podcast.
Quality.
Is that our thing now?
Yeah.
Sure. And pizza.
Is it
Quality
like
pizza.
koala, like the animal? 'Cause that's kind of how you're saying it. I just want to know if you guys
Koala,
have that
Koala.
as a mascot or something.
You know,
Maybe we need a
foxes
mascot.
eat bologna and koalas drink tea. So.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bingo is Life, a post-bingo Harrisonburg podcast, is brought to you by the Brothers How to Show and our friends at Ruby's Arcade in downtown Harrisonburg, Virginia. If you've enjoyed the show and feel it's worth spreading a little joy in this world, please tell just one person that you like this podcast. Word of mouth, more than any other form of promotion, is how creative works get noticed and sustain themselves. Thank you, Andrew Hickey, for that bit of wisdom, and thank you, listeners, for being part of the fun.